The v-strom is a well-known and well-loved all-purpose motorbike. It has enough power for all the speed freaks. It's comfortable to ride, cheap to maintain, and has an enviable reputation for reliability. It may not stir some people's soul, but as an honest, decent, straightforward and relatively cheap motorcycle, it's hard to beat. You can ride it more or less anywhere. It's comfortable cruising on the highway, handles paved back roads with aplomb, and is as good as just about anything else in the road ADV standard bike range on unpaved roads. If you're a hardcore trail rider, it's probably not the bike for you. But how many of us honestly are, except in our imaginations? Some people might consider it a bit of a minivan, a bit vanilla, a bit pedestrian. But if you want to ride almost anywhere with a minimum of cost and an almost impeccable reputation for not braking, the v-strom is a great choice. This is my friend Norm's bike. It's a 2012 model with only 20,000 kilometers on the clock. Apart from one or two scuffs, the kinds of things that happen more often while moving the bike around the garage than on the road, it looks almost new. In fact, it's so clean and tidy that I would have been hard-pressed to tell you how old it is without looking at the sticker on the frame. At 10 years old, it's hardly been used. It rides like a new bike and looks almost as good. Norm's made a few modifications for his personal comfort, notably the windscreen extension, the panniers, rack and top box, and his inevitable coffee cup holder. But otherwise it's stock. Suzuki Canada's website says the starting price is $10,299 for the 2022 basic bike. This doesn't include taxes, dealer prep, title and registration, license fees, delivery, administration, and any other charges that generally inflate the buying price. Rear pannier frames, extra. Heated grips, $386.55 extra. Top case carrier, $330.42 extra. Top case, $904.71. See where I'm going with this? By the time you ride out of the showroom, you've probably dropped $15,000 or more. By the way, I'm not singling out Suzuki for criticism here. Pick a bike, any bike, and the same probably applies. Norm's bike? Just over $5,000. Now I know some people have money to burn and absolutely have to have the latest shiny thing in the garage. But if you like to ride, consider this. Let's say by the time Norm's barely used but 10-year-old bike is road ready, he's spent a total of $6,000, probably less. And by the way, there are countless similar bikes out there in the world with low mileage that have had an easy life. But you, sir or madam, are a rider. Not for you the shiny garage queen that only sees daylight 2 or 3 times a year. If that were the case, you'd buy a Harley bagger and a coal scuttle helmet. You're not worried about 1 or 2 little scrapes. You know that soon enough you'll be adding a few yourself. Do you want to spend all your pennies on that new bike? Or is there a better way? Let's assume an out-of-the-door cost of $15,000 for the new 2022 v-strom. If you bought a used bike like Norm's, you'd be saving yourself $9,000 and also be missing out on that first expensive service. At current Canadian gas costs of $2 a litre, and assuming the bike eats fuel of roughly 5.5 litres per 100 kilometres, that means you'd be able to ride roughly 81,000 kilometres or 50,000 miles with the money you saved. You did say you were a rider, didn't you? How many times would that take you to the Dust to Dawson rally? or down the Blue Ridge Parkway, or up to Nordkapp. I'd originally intended this review to be about whether a 10-year-old v-strom was a good motorcycle, but riding this like-new bike reminded me that sometimes we need to assess our priorities, and to me at least, it makes far more sense to spend less on the purchase of the bike and more on using it. Norm's bike is a delight to ride. It's a bike I could easily own myself. With so many other fine bikes out there, the v-strom may not be the bike you or I might choose, as bike choice is a personal thing, not always guided by common sense. Whether it would be a v-strom or not depends on your particular taste. But having ridden this one, I certainly wouldn't be turning my nose up at it. Please do all those things that everybody always asks for: like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of thing. But most of all, buy my books, my audiobooks, my digital and paperback books about motorcycling are all available on Amazon. Thank you very much.